Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. We have pushing into what is this set called? What does Agov mean? Age of Overlord. Jesus. The new core set after Duelist Nexus. So very, very exciting. All we have so far is the Z-Arc support revealed, but now we get a whole new 7-card volley of VISAS Starfrost lore cards. Very curious to see what we get here. What is it, just generic VISAS Starfrost cards that just kind of support him specifically, or is it going to be specific archetypal cards for some of the other archetypes that exist in that lore? Scareclaw, Tearlament, Kashtira, Mannadome, the likes. We'll see. We also got the final Animation Chronicle card. We'll talk about that at the end. It's a little bit less relevant, but we'll go over that. I've read none of these, so let's just get into it. Starting off here, we have VISAS Samsara. This is a light fairy tuner, level 4, 1521. That's very important because of some of the new cards have really good synergy with monsters that have this exact stat line. I think is it level 4 specifically with 1521 for the stats. So this card having that stat line does really matter there. That could come up. Let's see how it do. Second effect's a hard once per turn. The first one says this card's name becomes VISAS Starfrost while on the field or in the graveyard. Got that Cyber Dragon kind of clause. Or Harpy Lady. That's cool. That does come up. Especially... Oh, that actually is cool because... I can't remember his name, the fusion where it banishes a VISAS plus a 1521 monster. This card counts as either of those materials, which is very cool. That gives you extra flexibility. Okay, here we go. You can target any number of your VISAS monsters that are banished on your field and or in graveyards, so pretty much anywhere but hand and deck. Shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, it gains 400 attack for each monster with different names shuffled by this effect. Third effect of this card you control would be used as a synchro monster. You can treat it as a non-tuner. Interesting. So it's actually just an extender. You just need to get any VISAS monster somewhere. Banished, on field, or engrave. Ideally, banished or engraved. That way you've already gotten most of your value from it. You don't ideally want to be shuffling something on field. And it does say on your field. Interesting. Pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool extender card. It's a tuner. It can be a non-tuner if you need. We have a new synchro here. We already know the other synchro that's in Dune is actually pretty decent. That this card kind of could help you get to that a little bit easier. It has VISAS in the text, so it's searchable via a couple ways that way. I'm pretty interested. This is pretty cool. I'm curious. I don't know all the synergy here, but definitely seems like a respectable card, especially with all the cards around it that may make this card a little bit better. So, very cool. Next up, we have a Pendulum monster in this realm. This is Veda Anishad. Yeah, Upanishad. This is a Dark Warrior special summon, a Pendulum monster, whatever. Scales are 0, very low scales. That's nice, but it's a level 12, 0 attack, 4,000 defense. Woo! Okay, Pendulum effects. Once per chain, if you destroy an opponent's monster or monsters, place 3 counters on this card. This card's Pendulum scale is increased by the number of counters on it. Okay, you can remove 12 counters from this card to special summon it. So if you destroy 4 monsters, if you destroy 4 of your opponent's monsters, this card will have 12 Pendulum counters. Got it. Or counters on it to, detach to or remove to special summon it. Okay, monster effects. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by its own Pendulum effect. You can only special summon it once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can banish 12 cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard face down. It becomes the end phase of this turn. Okay, that's insane. Second effect, once per turn during your standby phase, return this card to the hand, then you can special summon one of your Veda monsters that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, this card seems like a fun card. I don't think it'll really come up. I mean, anytime you see an insane effect as powerful of, it becomes the end phase of this turn. That's like FTK territory, right? Go first, set this kind of card up. And then, just kind of you know, pass their turn and kill them immediately before they ever got a chance to really play their engine. So I don't expect this to be very good, but it's funny. It's interesting. Let me know if there's any legitimate ways to potentially set this up fast enough, but we'll see. Next up, new Mannadium Synchro 6. The artwork on this looks so cool. This card looks so freaking cool. Okay, here we go. This is a light fairy synchro. It is a tuner synchro, even better. Level 6, great level for them because they have, I believe, a level 4, and then their tuners are the level 2 guys, so very easy to get into this. 2312 for the stats. It is completely generic. Love that. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, target a level 2 tuner in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. Oh my gosh! That's so broke. Oh, you know what? It's not as broken because it's a tuner itself. I was going to say, does this mean now any monster that summons a 6 is Barone? Because you would go, if you make it with a level 2 synchro, or a tuner, you would go, make this Reborn the level 2 tuner, make XL Stardust Reborn the level 2, make Barone. But because this is also a tuner, it is still good. It gets you a body back. That's just a +1 effect, even if it's negated. Especially in Mannadium, where you can reborn their tuners, potentially pop them some way, and then trigger them to summon again from deck and like keep going that way, even if they're negated on field. Still a good effect, but because she's a tuner herself, this isn't a perfect effect, but still good. It's still generically a great synchro monster added to the pool of great synchros to help you synchro climb. You can target any number of tuners you control. Their levels become 2. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchro monsters. Okay, so I was curious about this. Since it does lock you into synchros, that makes sense. I was wondering because was this going to be a situation where you can make this reborn a 2 after you make this, turn this card into a 2, and then like overlay for Gigantic Sprite, get your Sprite engine online, but it does lock you into synchros for the rest of the turn. Not a bad card at all. Level manipulation plus just a +1 like synchro climb-esque effect. Not bad at all. And it is generic, so it could be abusable in generic synchro strategies. We will have to wait and see on that though. Not a bad card. Next up we have Planetary Allergy. It's a normal spell card. You can only use the second effect of this card once per turn. Add 1 Veda monster from your deck to hand. Okay, so we saw that the pendulum above is a Veda monster. I don't know if we already have another one or not, but cool, it's a Rhoda. Search it from deck to hand. Secondly, if a face-up tuner or tuners you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's engraved, and VISAS Starfrost is on the field, banish this card, then target one of those destroyed monsters, add it to your hand. That's a fine effect, but it needs a lot going on. It needs something to be destroyed on field. A face-up tuner to be destroyed on field. Already control a VISAS Starfrost during this, and it just gets you to add it back. It's fine, whatever. The main effect is the search effect. Not a bad card if the Veda monsters are worth it, but if not, not worth it. But we'll see. Quick play spell. This is Planetary Eulogy. Quick play spell. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. Target one monster you control and one effect monster your opponent controls. Destroy that monster you control, and if you do, negate the opponent's monster's effects until the end of the turn. Then if VISAS Starfrost is on the field, you can destroy the targeted monster. Second effect, during your main phase, if a Veda monster card is on the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard to destroy a monster you control. Wow, this is an interesting one. Very, very interesting. One, this is actually not a terrible generic card, especially if you play an archetype that doesn't mind getting your own stuff destroyed. I mean, I think about, I don't know, Unchained with their new support, being able to just like target an opponent's monster and your own monster, you pop your own to essentially like impermanence or chalice your opponent's monster, but then you're triggering your guy to get into more stuff, more value, more interruptions, whatever. That's pretty cool. And there's other archetypes that like being destroyed too, so that could be a generically applicable card. If you are on a VISAS type deck, then this obviously gets a little more potent because you also get to destroy your opponent's monster, negate and destroy it. And then obviously if you play Veda stuff, you also get the potential to pop your own card later on to get some value there. Very interesting card. It has VISAS in the name, so it is searchable via a couple of things. Very interesting card. This one's interesting for sure. Okay, we move to some traps. This is Sarga. This is a normal trap. You can only use both of its effect once per turn. If VISAS Starfrost is on the field, target an effect monster on the field, shuffle it into the deck, and if you do, during the end phase of this turn, its owner can add one monster from their deck to their hand with a different type and a lower level than the shuffled monster's level, rank, or link rating. If a Veda monster is special summoned while this card is in the graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. I think this card's pretty bad. I think, like, generally, if this interruption's not too terrible, but assuming you're going to use this on your opponent's monsters most of the time, they're just going to get to add, I don't want to say virtually anything, but a lot of different stuff from their deck to their hand. I don't love that. Now, I'm sure there are some targets that do kind of punish them, right? If you shuffle a level 1 or a link 1 or, you know, rank 1, obviously they can't search anything. But even shuffling a link 2, rank 2, level 2, sprite decks, a lot of decks play 2s, they're going to have very limited searches. Maybe limited even to, like, effect Veil or Droll, that kind of stuff. Unless their deck actually plays good level 1s. So I don't know. This card's fine, but it seems like a lot of decks can kind of force you to have only not great shuffle targets, and when you do, they're going to get a search for a pretty good card after that, which you don't love. Just okay. The last one here is Loca Samsara. This is another card that has 2 once per turn effects. Banish one face-up VISAS Starfrost you control until the end phase. To special summon a heart monster with 3,000 attack from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, but it can only activate its effects once. Also, banish it face down during the end phase. What heart monsters that are 3,000 attack are there? That is really strange. What? That's so weird. I don't know. What does that even fit into? I mean, I'm skimming through here. Oh, a Rise Heart. You can just summon a Rise Heart off of this. But it can only activate its effects once. I mean, I guess you still get a Rise Heart and turn on the Macrocosmos effect, which doesn't need to activate. So I guess that's all you need to know. Banish a VISAS Starfrost to cheat out a Rise Heart. Second effect, if your opponent special summons a monster from the X check while this card is in your graveyard, add this card to your hand. Fine. Nothing crazy there. You can also do the Mannadium Prime Heart. He's 3,000 attack. But he's not good. I mean, like, I don't know. He's just not great. And Scareclaw Tryhard. Those are your main targets there. Or is it Kaleido Heart? Yeah, Kaleido Heart's another. There's actually a couple. Yeah. Oh, okay. So even, yeah, okay. There's actually some good targets off of this, actually. This one's interesting for sure. Now, you're going to have to play some extra targets that get you the type of interruption you want, but this could make, like, a VISAS engine, like, more generically able to cheat out stuff like a Rise Heart, Kaleido Heart, Try Heart. I probably would name for the Mannadium guy, but those other 3 are decent, worthwhile boss monsters given a certain scenario. So very interesting. Plus the ability to add it back is very interesting as well. Pretty easily. I like it. Pretty cool card. Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff here. Last wave it felt like was pretty dud. Oh, I'm sorry. Last card here, real quick. Animation Chronicle, Earthbound release, final card. It's a trap card for Earthbounds. Normal trap, when a level 6 or higher monster is normal or special summoned, tribute a level 10 Earthbound monster. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's total original attack. Not a bad card, not a great card. I don't love that you have to have it not only an Earthbound, but a level 10 Earthbound. That's what really kills this card for me, because I believe it's just all of the terrible Earthbound immortal monsters that require field spell and field, and then only the Earthbound Fusion, the new one, the level 10, that's not even the better of the two, are the only, like, level 10s you'd be able to set up for this card. Plus, it requires your opponent to summon a level 6 or higher monster. You probably would have searched this card, so your opponent could have easily seen that now they know what to play around. The damage is cool, though. The damage is just the fact that it's all their total attack. Like, you could potentially OTK your opponent with this card if they play right into it. So, It's cool, but you have to tribute your monster. It's not very good. Going back to the total, my total perceptions of this stuff. Very cool stuff, one by one. I like this card. Cool extender could come up. Not going to come up. More of an anime-y card to me. Pretty good card. Could come up not only generically in Synchro decks, but also for Mannadium. It could be worth it. We'll see. Planetary Elegy, we'll have to see on what, if any, Veda monsters are going to be worth it down the line, but it's a Rhoda, so a Rhoda's a Rhoda. This card's super interesting, maybe the most interesting one overall, other than the other trap. Could be a really cool generic card for a couple decks, as well as, you know, maybe another extra spicy target for decks that already want to play around with VISAS Starfrost stuff. Very cool. This card was interesting, but some decks just won't care as much about it, can punish this card kinda. And then this card, very interesting, cheating out those 3 main heart boss monsters, especially the 2, Kaleido Heart and doesn't Room Heart meet that thing as well? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. I thought, isn't it Tier Limit Room Heart? Oh no, I'm thinking of something different. Never mind. I'm thinking of something different. I have the name different. It should just be Kaleido Heart. So Kaleido Heart or the Kashtira guy, Arise Heart. Those are your 2 main things. You're either macroing your opponent, or we are just shuffling something, which are 2 powerful effects. You get boss monsters that are not bad to just get in rotation. Specifically, well, Kaleido Heart can't reborn herself, so whatever. They're still big bodies, and, you know, they can be used for something else. Which is cool. A lot of cool stuff. Very interesting. Very curious to see if these will come to fruition in any of these decks that we already have. Maybe we'll get another new archetype in here. I don't know. I'm also kind of thinking, like, if we have a whole nother 7 wave of VISAS support here, are we not getting a new lore started yet? Are they going to hold that off? We have no idea on that. We'll obviously have to wait and see what actual new archetypes come from here. But very cool to see. Good head start up here. We'll be very curious to see where they go from here. And I will bring you any future news on that stuff down the line. But thank you so much for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts down below, specifically if you mess around with these types of decks more than I do. Let me know different interactions that make some of these cards more or less usable than I kind of indicated here. I'd love to hear that stuff down below. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.